My camera's still showing what's up on the screen.
Ms. Bristol, if you can hear us, we cannot hear you.
Maybe Mr. Abuxia, if you sent that telephone number that you got her on to Ms. Dubé, I just call her from my phone.
I'll do that right now, Your Honor.
That's fine. Thanks, Kelly.
Hello?
Yeah, Ms. Bristol, Antonina Bristol?
Oh, yeah, I can hear you now. For some reason, my Zoom, I couldn't hear anything.
Right, we couldn't hear you either, so we decided I'd call you on the speakerphone. I'm Judge Sara Smolenski, and of course yes, thank you. We're talking to Mr. Abuxia. He's on the Zoom, but we don't see you and we can't hear you, so we couldn't make the connection for some reason. We're not sure why.
Yeah, I'm not sure what's going on. I apologize.
No, it happens. Today's the date set for the sentencing on your OWI second charge. The other misdemeanor offenses from that January 19 this year incident were being dismissed. You pled to the OWI second with that prior case being a few years ago out of circuit court. So you've kind of been through the ringer knowing what it's like to go through these cases. We're hoping that this will be the end of it and you won't have any more. If there's anything you can think of.
I had some difficulties in my life with relationship with my kids and my mom passing away.
Right, I'm sure.
Recently I have gotten some help.
That's good.
I'm doing a lot better in life. Like I said, I got promoted at my job. I moved to a new location.
Yeah.
I definitely have chosen different paths in my life.
Right. That's all good. There's no doubt about it. And we want you to do better. We want you to be stable. And really, when people have a parent die or they have problems with their kids or a kid dies or a divorce happens or a loss of job, I mean, a lot of people go through some extremely difficult times and some of them have it all happen at once. Cancer, divorce, problems with a kid or whatever. But to drive under the influence, one thing to have an alcohol problem, it's another thing to keep driving when you put other people's lives at risk. Friday in court, we had 2 fatal car accidents we dealt with, separate cases, separate facts, but they always are the hardest cases because obviously someone died. And there's no way you can take back what happened. Even if you would never, ever, ever expect that could happen to you, in a split second it can. And that's what we are so worried about. I'm going to let Mr. Abuxia speak and hear what he has to say. And then if there's anything further you want to add, Ms. Bristol, you'll be able to. Go ahead, Mr. Abuxia.
Thank you, Your Honor. And this all stems out of an incident that was described to me as she was trying to leave an ugly scene and then an even uglier scene was created because of that. She was going to AA. She stopped because of COVID. She's had steady employment for 5 years. As she said, she's worked her way up to a manager. It sounds like they moved her into a new store now to try and write that one. She had a background in cosmetology. She does have 3 kids, Your Honor, 3 boys, one of which is 23. The other 2 are 16 and 14, and she shares joint custody with them. And looking over the Crossroads assessment, that was the Journeys assessment, I'm sorry, that was done, Your Honor, they are recommending the Crossroads group and outpatient therapy. They think that that would be beneficial. They think that outpatient is still the right avenue for her to get help. And so we'll hope that that's what is ordered and that's what she will undergo. We've talked about the likelihood of jail time happening because of the first incident. I would like to highlight that that first incident, she did have 6 months in jail and was on probation for 3 years. So quite a lengthy amount of time. What we're asking for at this time, Your Honor, is that if there is any jail time to be ordered, that be allowed to be done on the weekends. As she has had steady employment for 5 years, we don't want to jeopardize that job. However, right now at Kent County Correctional Facility, they are not allowing for the work release on the everyday level. And so we're hoping that weekends, which I've heard are still being allowed, would be an acceptable manner for her to serve any jail time that you're thinking of. And I'll let
Okay.
Antonina speak on the rest.
All right, thank you, Mr. Abuxia, for your involvement. Ms. Bristol, what, if anything, can you think of that you want to say?
Well, Your Honor, I mean, in these past 9 months or so since the incident, I mean, I've done a lot of changing. The incident, I mean, I wish I could make you understand that it wasn't completely my fault, but yes, it was my fault. The situation that I was in just wasn't a very good one.
Right.
And since I completely removed myself from that situation, I mean, I'm not driving and I'm not drinking, so therefore I can't get in trouble for it again. I mean, alcohol has definitely been a big downfall for me.
Right. Well,
I've done everything that I can to help myself.
when you had your other case back years ago, was that your oldest son that was with you?
No, nobody was with me in my other case.
Who was the 17-year-old that was in the car?
That was my son for this case.
Okay. So your 17-year-old was in the car at this time when the car was stuck in the trees?
Yes, ma'am, because it was him I was trying to remove from the home that I was in.
Right.
Him and my boyfriend were getting into it.
But he was never the driver, it was only you.
Huh?
He was never driving that car, it was just you.
Yes.
And did you total the car?
Well, they said that I totaled the car, but there was the car already had damage to the back end.
Uh-huh.
The back end was already completely damaged.
Uh-huh.
I don't know if
From something else.
I could have. I was backing slowly out of the driveway.
Yeah, from something else you mean, the damage was there pre-existing.
Yes.
Yeah. But I mean, think of it. I wasn't remembering the facts in your case when I was telling you about the 2 fatals on Friday. Think of what could have happened with you and your son,
I know.
even getting away from a bad situation.
I
Talk about making it a million times worse. If your son would have been killed in a car accident, how do you explain it? You would have wanted, right?
I had been drinking before I left the first time. It was the second time.
Yeah.
When my ex-boyfriend claimed that he reported the car stolen, I had already been drinking then, and then that's when all that had happened.
Right. All right, well, here's what I'm going to do on the case from January 2019, I'm sorry, January 19, 2020. You know, it's already 8 months ago that this case was, happened.
Right.
But I want to make sure that you don't have any more cases. You can't have any of these again. They'll charge you with a 5-year felony. But it doesn't matter what the criminal case is. If you killed or hurt somebody, that's the thing we worry about the most. So on the OWI second, you get a 1-year suspended jail sentence where 11 months and 15 days are suspended. 15 days are what you serve. You've already done 2. So you get credit for 2 out of 15, that leaves 13 days left. So the jail time on this case is 13 days. 15 days are the community service. 15 days of community service that they coordinate while you're on probation, but not to interfere with your work. I'm a firm believer of the Crossroads program and continued outpatient treatment. I think you need it and should follow up with it. So we do order that counseling. We also order no alcohol, no illegal drug use, no misuse of prescription medication, testing regularly to make sure you're clean, and no marijuana. 1 year of probation. Secretary of State's going to come in and take your license away. If they haven't already, they will. It's a $1,000 fine. $360 is the fee for probation at $30 a month times 12 months. $75 crime victims' right fee. $275 goes back to the Kent County Sheriff's Department for their arrest and processing fee. $200 is your court-appointed attorney. There's no restitution from this case. We looked into it. You'll have to report to the jail. I'll allow weekends starting this Friday, October 2 at 5 p.m. This Friday, 5 p.m. And okay for weekends to finish the 13 days. The people at the jail will tell you every weekend when you're supposed to be there and not to miss it. Monetarily, the total amount is $1,910. There was a $100 bond that was posted that can be applied. They'll set up a payment plan. And like I told you, the Secretary of State will set up what your driving record is going to be like, how long you have to be without your license, how long they're going to suspend it, revoke it, etc. Now, can you think of questions beyond that?
Nope, not really. Could you just have my lawyer give me a call after when you get a chance?
Yep, Mr. Abuksia?
Yes, I heard, Your Honor. Thank you.
Yep, by 5 p.m.
Okay, do you know, by chance know when I get released? I'm only asking so I can work my work schedule around it.
Sunday, if you're doing weekends only, it would be probably 5 to 5, 5 p.m. Friday to 5 p.m. Sunday. It might be earlier on Sunday. You'd have to go by what the jail says, but I'm pretty positive it wouldn't be past 5.
Okay.
All right, Mr. Abuksia, she had mentioned, you probably heard that she'd like you to call her.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, Ms. Bristol, that's it for now. Thank you for making the effort to zoom in, and I'm glad I could get you by the telephone.
Yes, thank you so much, Your Honor.
All right, peace now. Follow the rules.
I will.
Thank you. Okay, I'd like to put the Melody Vanderhyde case on the record. That's another one that your office had, Mr. Abuksia?
That was a probation violation?
Yes. From 2018, the file's D18-04473. It was a felony originally. Her name was Melody Vanderhyde. It's spelled Vanderheide. Angela DeWinter is here from our probation department. I just want to make a note that Ms. Vanderhyde never contacted the court. She's not zoomed in or connected with us in any way. I'm not expecting that you know right off the bat that that would be one of your files from your office, Mr. Abuksia, but if you find out anything or learn anything about it, let us know. I'm just going to do a $500 cash bench warrant. We've had a number of difficulties getting a hold of her, even last June, a year ago. She failed to appear, and I did a small bench warrant then. We'll just see if we can find out what's going on. Okay?
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. Then the other one I wanted to put on the record was the Gabriel Young, and that Young case is on file D14-00503. So it goes back to the year 2014, operating under the influence of drugs out of East Grand Rapids. This was an East Grand Rapids case. Mr. Young represented himself, I believe, way back when. And it's an old case. We have his address out of Wyoming. It's a probation violation. We've not heard from him. We've made a number of attempts. I'm just going to do on this one, he owes about $2,000. Monies are part of the issue, but there's a lot of other violations. We'll just do a $2,000 cash bench warrant. Defendants failed to appear, and see if we can get a hold of them. The other one that I think you might have had some connection with, Mr. Abuxia, was the Tabitha Morris case. Possibly that was a 2018 case that the defender's office represented her on originally. It was a high BAC charge. She pled down. She's in front of the court for a probation violation. Pretty much all the monies are still outstanding, it looks like. But it's a 2-year-old case, so we've not heard anything. I'm just making a note on that file. Again, it's D1805046SD, that the defendant, Tabitha Morris, failed to appear. There's violations in a few areas, testing positive, not completing all the counseling. She did a fair amount of the community service, to be forthright, about 3/4 of it out of 160 hours. But then we had a number of positive tests for drugs and several that were missed. Anyways, she's failed to appear for this probation violation. We'll do a $1,300, I'm trying to have it work out to be the fines and court costs she owes, $1,300 cash bench warrant. If you find out anything, you can let us know, Mr. Abuxia.
I will, Your Honor.
I think the other ones we have are some PCs and prelims starting at 10, so you should be good. I think we have you on a few of those.
I believe that'll be other people out of the office, but
Oh, all right.
I will see you this
Thanks a lot
afternoon.
for your help. We sure appreciate it.
Yes, Your Honor, and thank you for calling. Thank you for calling her.
Yeah, that worked out.